Hello and welcome to this edition of the Evening Review. My name is Toivo Njebela, your host for tonight. Let's have a look at today's front page of Namibian Sun. Tonight in the studio we are joined by the newly elected councillor of Katutura Central Constituency here in Khomas Region, Rodman Katjaimo. He was elected last week on the ticket of the Popular Democratic Movement, and he is in the studio today with us to talk to us about that breakthrough. Councillor, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mesha, you surprised a lot of people, first by resigning from your job as a respected, popular sports broadcaster with MBC. That was already a huge surprise for many of us. And then you went on to actually win this election in your constituency. Just what motivated you first and foremost to actually make that radical departure from journalism to politics?
It's a lot of things. Thank you so much. But it's a lot of things. I'm going to mention only one thing.
Yeah.
When I returned from Jamaica in 2017, I started a football academy in the heart of Katutura. I was training the youngsters there. And you know, we were participating in Colin Benjamin Academy, the Household Youth League. Yeah, by then we were competing against luxurious academy like Rebels, DTS, Escave, and so forth. But you know, the parents of this side are not like of those who are living in this other side of the town. Yeah, they were not coming out to help the academy, which means I was doing everything, cover all the expenses from my NBC salary. At that moment is when I realized that if I'm helping these youngsters at this stage with my own resources, how about if I happen to be given bigger responsibility by the community? Therefore, it was the main thing that forced me to join politics.
Okay. And it must have been still a very difficult decision. Maybe even your family having to tell them that, look, as a matter of fact, how confident were you that this decision was going to be a correct one? Because politics is a gamble. You had a secure job and you had to quit it to try your luck at something that you are not very sure of, and also in a space that you are new in. But you still went on to do that. Where did you get that kind of motivation?
I thank God for that. I happened to give my life to Jesus, or to become a born-again Christian at very tender age of 22. Yeah, and we believe that we don't live by sight, we live by faith. That's number one. And the other thing also, when you look at NBC, I started in 2004. Now we are in 2020, 16 years down the line, and I'm still a producer, which means also at work I reach a ceiling. I realize that I need to do something else. I just don't want to be a producer. And when I reach the age of 60, when my kids are asking me, where were you, Daddy?
Yeah.
When people were fighting to not to top lead, but to bring changes in Namibia during the time of Fish Road. Where were you, Daddy?
Yes.
I would tell them that I was at NBC and I was afraid to say anything. No, I found it that I have to do something for my community. Let me just go and try. If I win, I win. If I lose, life goes on.
Yeah.
And I was saying to myself that, you know, then when I started at NBC, I was very young. I didn't have any resources. In 16 years' time, accumulated some resources. If I didn't win, I'm going to do something else. I might go back to school or do something else. And it doesn't mean all people in Namibia. We have more than 2 million people, and all of them, they don't live from NBC.
Yes, indeed. So basically, you are saying NBC or any other job is not alpha and omega. It can always.
Exactly.
Indeed. But tell me now, you are raising also something very important. Obviously, for you to become the official candidate of your party, PDM, in that election, there are some requirements, some preconditions. You must have been, you have to be a card-carrying member of the party, and stuff like that. For how long have you been with the party?
Since 2004. You know, during the time of Nuto DTA Saka. During that period is when I joined PDM, but unfortunately, it's when I joined DTA, but unfortunately the same year is when I got a freelance contract at NBC, which means I didn't participate in politics because of NBC then.
And now the debate that has dominated the discourse in journalism for many years is this thing of, as I stand here, am I allowed even to be a card-carrying member of any political party, given the kind of job that I do? And some even take it as far as saying, even if I vote as a Namibian citizen who only happen to be a journalist by training, people even question that aspect. What is your view on journalists getting involved, maybe not actively then, but just being a card-carrying member of a political organization?
I don't see anything wrong with that. Because you are saying a journalist, but go back to our top leaders. Some of them, they are appointed to be our leaders because they carry their card member of those political parties. Or even if somebody to be appointed in certain board to become maybe NBC board member, you'll be scrutinized whether you carry the ruling party membership card or not. And why not us? That's a question that I asked them. Why not us? Why do you don't want me? When you read that NBC policy, it says that NBC employees shouldn't engage in politics. But I asked them why. Why? If I'm not putting my work in impartiality, why are you stopping me not to participate in politics? Or you are saying that NBC cleaner or NBC driver shouldn't even involve in politics. Is that fair?
Yes, not fair. It can never be fair. We have the rights as anyone else in our country. So one of the surprises, of course, eventually was when we were elected as councillor. This constituency was in the hands of Swapo. Mr. Kanji was the councillor there. Of course, he did not make it out of the primaries. But we were discussing just before the recording started and looking at some of the dynamics that might have led to also contributed to your election, which is this thing that your constituency is predominantly Herero speaking. And I understand that the ruling party opted for someone from another ethnic group to be the councillor in that space. Do you think that contributed also to things, how they turned out?
Yes, but you know, before I came there, one of the things that people didn't know about me, they didn't know that I have a very great followers out there. It came out that when I was at NBC, I was a very passionate sport presenter and producer and commentator. I was doing my work with a perseverance and also wholeheartedly with a lot of love. And through that, I win many hearts. And as you remember, also I was slightly relieved from my job between March and July because of NFA and NPL issue that I was a bit biased in my reporting and so forth. During that period, I received a lot of sympathizers. And it was one of the things that give me that notch of being leading coordinator in this election. And as you said also, you know, during this election, let us be very honest with ourselves. Look at LPM. They were winning southern part of Namibia. Look at UDF. They were winning in Kunene area. And look at Nudo. They were winning where Herero are dominating. And when we come to Windhoek, the good thing I realized that Nudo, they didn't have that very strong candidate. And the other person who was a very strong candidate from Ojero speaking people, it was me. I tapped on that because reason number one, Swapo happened to shoot themselves. You cannot bring somebody who is not Ojero speaking in Ojero speaking area, and you want that person to lead that constituency. I think Swapo members they protested against that, and they voted for me because of that. I happen to get maybe, if not a lot, few of them from Swapo votes. And
tell me quickly about the issue of
and remember, I'm not saying it's only that, because I happened to win landslidely at a very big margin. There was 1,000 between me and the person who came second, the Swapo candidate.
Indeed. The controversies around football. There's been, of course, your suspension eventually came this year, but for a long time, I see you on WhatsApp, what is Isaac Hamada's through posting, people saying stuff about you. You are not objective. You have taken a side in this whole thing. What do you make of those kind of allegations?
You know, even today, Donald Trump is accusing CNN and BBC and some other news outlet that they are against him. They don't want him to become a American president. And also some of you guys also, you received that locally. That you are advocating certain people agenda. It's the same. When you are a journalist, you might still think from this perspective, and you think that way is you are objective on it. But the other party, which is who feel like maybe what you are reporting is not according to what they think, they will start calling you names. I take it those things very lightly. I have a very strong skin on those issues. It's not a big issue to me. It was never an issue even.
Indeed. Now, Councillor, what are the main challenges in your constituency, and how do you intend to tackle all of them?
There is how can I put it? Hell of issues or challenges. You know, the unemployment rate is very high, and secondly, the crime is also escalating. On those two issues, I want to start a neighborhood watch. For the past few days, I was talking to some of the guys who have a very vast knowledge in that area. I want to tap on them to see how we are going to have a neighborhood watch. On unemployment rate, I realized that the constituency get a budget of 180,000 per annum to buy some, to help some small businesses to buy equipment and so forth. I don't think that thing is enough. We must find ways on how we're going to to have a project which is going to generate funds for these young people. One of them today I penned a letter to our newly elected mayor, Dr. Mupanda, that we want to start bricks factory so that we can see how they will even will be in agreement with them so that they will start buying bricks from Katutura Constituency factory. They might help, in that way we might help young people to get job. And also beside that, I'm coming also from the background of organizing events, especially sports events. I want to, Kanji also used to have Katutura Expo. We'll see how we're going to make it bigger and better. And also beside that, I want to host a sport festive. Beside that, also to organize some like township run. You know, I want to encourage people to exercise. When you exercise, you listen better on health sector because many people will live a healthier life. They are not going to struggle with diabetes and so forth.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to have those programs that will generate money and so that we plow back this money back into the community.
Indeed. The final question then to you, Councillor, is just the challenge of the way our politics is structured now, mainly due to how the election results came out. You are a PDM councillor writing a letter to an AR mayor in a country controlled by Swapo politically. Does that present you with a sense of challenge, as opposed to, for example, if McHenry Venani was president, you just go to your president. If your party's president, you go to him and say, Mr. President, my constituency needs this. I need funds. I need whatever. I need your support. Now you have political parties that are in competition of some sort. Of course, at the end of the day, you are all agreeing that you need to help us, the residents of Windhoek and Khomas and the country. Is that a bit of a challenge for you?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
The wind of change is blowing already. And also, we are talking about progressive forces. Yeah. Yeah, which means we are in one pot already. Yeah. And I'm also foreseeing coalition when we are going to 2024. Yeah, I think we are going to help one another because all of us, we want change. We have been crying for change. Yes. And besides, we might differ in ideology and the thing that we want to do. Yeah, but it doesn't mean all of us, we don't want change. All of us, we want change, in one, whether radically or in other forms, but all of us, we want change, which means if I come up, you know, PDM, we're talking about one Namibian, one plot, one Namibian, one factory, and so forth. And if they are in that chamber, most of them are from different political parties, and they want to incorporate those agendas from their manifestos. I think we are going to help one another. Indeed. So that we'll have a new government in 2024.
Indeed. Councillor Katjaimo, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much. It was great having you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So that is Councillor Rodman Katjaimo of Katutura Central Constituency in Khomas Region, speaking to us about his recent victory in that election to take over the constituency, and of course the transition also from being a sportscaster to a politician. Thank you for watching, and good night.
I, Frankie, pledge to build a band of brothers.
I, Michael, pledge to define myself by my character.
I, Gesser, pledge to use my strength for good.
My name is Ethan and I pledge to nurture my fields.
I am Aubrey and I pledge to make the world a better place.
My name is Salatiel Shinedima, the Executive Director of Women's Action for Development, and I pledge to mentor the next generation.